Hi, in this video, I'm going to analyze a melody writing from the ABRSM Gr6 2021A Q3a model answer. Through analysis, we'll find out what makes a good melody and how to get higher grades in the exam. If you are not taking exam, it will also help you to appreciate good melody writing. Let's dive in. First of all, let's read the question very carefully. This melody should be written for cello and have a modulation to the dominant key. The model answer will usually demonstrate 8 bars, and we need to add performance directions. Take a look at the tempo marking, the bass clef, the time signature, dynamics, start with an upbeat, rhythmic pattern, and also the composer. These are all important things for us to observe. Let's look at this model answer. I have 10 points for you. Number 1, the key and the modulation. Since there is no sharp and no flat, we may think this is C major or A minor. By observing the first measure, most likely is C, E, G. So this is a C major tonic chord. Modulation. The question asks us to modulate to G major. So here is a G major 5/1 cadence. We can check it with the G, B, D chord at the end, and also a 5 chord D, F sharp A here to confirm the modulation and a 5/1 cadence. Second point is to look at the phrase. These are 4-bar phrases. Start with an upbeat, so we should end on the 4th bar, first quaver beat, then the second phrase start with the last quaver, and then continue to the end. The last bar should consist of only 3.5 beat, because it has to balance with the first quaver. As we look at the cadence, the first phrase ends on an imperfect cadence, 4-5. And then the final cadence is a 5/1 with modulation in G major. The third point is harmonic structure and non-chord tones. So we analyze the chords. Bar 1 and bar 2 is mostly consists of C, E, G. So definitely it's a tonic chord all the way. When we come to bar 3 and bar 4, since this is towards a cadence, the harmonic rhythm gets a little bit faster. So 2 beat, 1 chord. The first D belongs to 5 chord, and then the third and the fourth beat belongs to a 1 chord. Then at the end, we have 4-5. In the second phrase, we can see the harmonic rhythm is almost the same. 2 chords per bar. So we can analyze it and read out the chord tones. G, B, D, it's a 5. C, E, G is 1. And we can cross out the non-chord tones. Mostly are passing notes. Bar 6, we have 4-5, and then go to 3. Finally, to 6, and towards a modulation. So these harmonic structure are reasonable, and with some passing notes in between to smoothen out the melody. The fourth point, we'll look into imitation and sequence. The first 2 bars are given, and then the model answer given is using an imitation. It's like an imitation. We can compare bar 1 and 3. Looks like a sequence, but since the second bar and the 4th bar, direction is different. So we may say only the rhythmic pattern are the same. So we can say this is an imitation of bar 1 and 2. Then the second phrase, we'll see there are rhythmic pattern that imitates one another like a mirror. First 2 beat repeat over here in bar 6. Bar 5, beat 3 and 4, repeat the same rhythm here. So it sounds very interesting. And then finish with the imitation from bar 2 and put it here in bar 7. The final bar rhythmic pattern is from bar 1. So we can see there are a lot of imitations. Now let's look at the melodic shape and the climax. The melodic shape goes up and down, and it looks like a good contour line. Starting from the last quaver to the second phrase, we can see the climax going up and finally reach a climax on the A. Then this is a good place to put a climax, and then finally goes down, and goes down to end on the G. So this is a good melodic shape and with a climax. For rhythmic variety, we can see there are a lot of note values grouped together. We have quavers, we have minim, dotted crotchet, dotted quaver, semiquaver, quaver 2 semiquavers, and so forth. So there are a lot of rhythmic variety. For the tempo is moderato, moderate tempo, which suits this kind of rhythm, and the cellist can play. Dynamics and performance direction. The question given is in MF. Dolce means sweetly. So towards the end, because the next phrase will have a climax, so it will be good to change the dynamics to forte. And it is very appropriate to write under the G over here, but not the G in the next line, because the phrase starts with this note and not the downbeat. Some of the students put the forte here, which is not correct. After the climax, we can see come down a level of MF and then put a diminuendo ending with a P, soft at the end. So the dynamics and performance direction are all very appropriate. Now let's look at the articulation. Since this is for string cello, we should show some of the bowing or use the slur to show that this is one bow. Although right now we don't have to write up bow and down bow here, but it would be good to put some slur at it as it is shown from the example from bar 1 and 2. So we keep the consistency and then follow it, make it the same every time when the pattern is the same. Just take note of the last 2 quavers here. We don't put a slur here because the phrase ends on the first quaver, and then the next quaver will be the beginning of a second phrase. So it is not appropriate to make a slur over here. Then the rest, we can see some new pattern of the slur starting on the weaker beat, and also a staccato dots. So there will be variety of the articulations. Finally, we have to check, is this playable by cello? Is it idiomatic writing? If yes, and the range is within the range of the cello, then that's fine. So after we check this 10 point, we find that it is really very good. So now let's look at the checklist again. Checklist for good melody writing from number 1 to number 10. You can always go back to the video and check it. Number 11 is a bonus for you. It is a last reminder for minor keys. Sometimes our melody writings will be in minor keys. Please check the leading note and augmented intervals. Minor keys leading note always has to be sharpened, and there will be chances we will make careless mistakes of augmented second augmented fourth or augmented fifth. Just double check it. So now let's listen to this example. Alright, so in this video, I have demonstrated how to appreciate good melody writing. And now you can try it by yourselves. Thanks for watching. If you find this video helpful or interesting, please subscribe, like, and share.